And it actually got to a point where I started taking money off my mom without her knowing. So I still remember I used to go downstairs, I used to get her card, enter the card details on, for anyone that knows, it's called IQ Options.
Yes.
Enter her card, and I'll take £1,000. And then I'll put £1,000 thinking to myself that, I've got more money, I can make more. That didn't work out. So I blew the 1,000 and then put another 1,000, and then next thing you know, literally my mum's account had like nothing in it, like £1,000 or £2,000 in it. So I managed to go through about £20,000.
Wow.
And it wasn't just I deposited £20,000. It was 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 2,000. And it literally got to a point where like I memorized my mum's card details, so I didn't even have to go downstairs and get a card. I just know the numbers, so I'll just enter it. And then
What happened with that though? What was the
consequences?
The consequences, yeah. How long did you get away with that?
So I managed to get away with it for about 2 years, 1.5 years.
Wow. Were you doing it slowly, were you?
No. This was in the space of like a week or two, £20,000 down the drain. But obviously my mom didn't know. So for a good, I want to say a year and a half, she didn't realize, because obviously she came to this country when she was young. I think she came when she was like 4 or 5. She knows the language and everything, but technology-wise, she's a bit behind.
Okay, yeah.
So obviously she doesn't know about mobile banking and stuff. But I still remember, so I'll get into that after. So what happened was I used to start, obviously I wanted trading to work. So what would happen was, the only thing on my mind was I need to make £20,000 and I need to make it as soon as possible.
Of course.
And that's literally the worst mindset to have in trading, because if you chase money, it runs away. So, I've always been like a hustler, like as in, I've never had like a corporate job, like 9 to 5 or anything. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. But like, I will always be doing like Uber Eats, Deliveroo, Amazon Flex. But then the same thing will happen where when I get paid, obviously I'm trying to make the £20,000 back. So I'll put that in a trading account, and then next thing you know, it's gone. Yeah. And that cycle happened for, like, that was in binary options for about a year, let's say, a year and a half. And then I want to say 2019, I got introduced to Forex. Okay. And that was through IML. But I always was skeptical about the network marketing part. I wanted to be an actual trader. So I remember at that time, they used to give signals, and there would be like a pip counter, how many pips they count. Yeah. So obviously you see like 600 pips, put £1 a pip, £600. I'm thinking to myself, that's great. I can make this 20,000 back as soon as possible. That didn't work out. I done it for a month, and then that same psychology from binary options came into Forex, where same thing, £200 accounts, £300 accounts, £500, £1,000, blown left, right, and centre. So that happened for this was back in 2019 or 2018, around that time. And then prop firms came around. And that was, from what I know, I was one of the first. I wasn't one of the first people, but then again, I didn't know no one, because obviously a trader doesn't really, unless you're networking online. You don't really. But I think it was back in 2020 I started FTMO, I remember. Thinking to myself, this is great. And let me just backtrack a little bit as well. So I was going out of uni at the time, and what I done was I done a year and a half. So I done 1 year, and then I done half a semester, and then I was like, you know what? I said to myself, I'm not going to drop out. I'm going to take a gap year. I'm going to fully focus on trading. Bearing in mind, this time I still had no money, nothing. So for 1 year, I ended up taking a 2-year gap year, so not 1 year, 2 years. That didn't work out as well. Forex, blowing accounts left, right, and centre. Probably blew 50, 100 accounts, probably more than that. Because it builds up £50, £100, you just keep depositing.
Yeah, just small amounts over and over.
It's crazy how much you end up losing.
Yeah. Do you know how much you probably lost in those small accounts, roughly?
Including the 20,000?
No, separate to 20,000.
Just the £50?
Yeah.
Let's just put it like this. From the age of 19 to 23, 24, I was like, I had no money. I'll have £50 in my account, £100. I'll literally pay obviously back then you just have £40, £50 phone bills. You don't really have big expenses, but everything else would go into a trading account, blown. I'll probably say I couldn't give you a number.
Just thousands.
£50,000.
Oh, wow.
Probably even more than that, I don't know. It adds up. And then you also start doing the stupid stuff like flipping accounts. So you put £50 in, you flip it to £500. Then you think, I could do 50 to 500. Now I could do 500 to 5,000.
Yeah.
But then obviously it doesn't work like that. Psychologically, the numbers, it's too big. It gets too big for you, basically. So, so same thing as prop firms. So 2020, I want to say end of 2020, I started FTMO. And literally the same thing as the personal accounts and binary options. It's just, I was buying accounts and I was blowing them. Like if you see it got to a point where I had to make a new FTMO email address because there was so many failed.
You couldn't see it anymore.
Yeah, I was like, nah, this ain't it. So I made a new one, FTMO, and then obviously back then there was Funding Talent as well.
Yes.
Luckily, I didn't get funded with them, so nothing happened. But yeah, FTMO and Funding Talent were the main ones. But probably prop firms in general, I probably blew 50 plus, and I'm talking 100K accounts because at the time I had a big ego. So I was thinking to myself, oh, six figures.
Yeah.
Even though it's technically you get 10% that you can lose.
So that's like 25K almost there.
Yeah, probably more. I don't even know, man. It's just, it got to a point where it's just too phenomenal.
And whilst you're doing it, obviously, as you're going through that, you got the 20K, and then as it's getting more and more, you're going, oh, now it's 25K I need to make, 30K I need to make, 40K I need to make.
But even then, like, the money I lost, I didn't really care about. It was more just that I need to pay my mum back. Because when that happened, I still remember she gave me a phone call, and I must have been doing like an Uber Eats delivery or something. And I just got a phone call from my sister saying, I logged into mum's account. I keep seeing minus 1,000, 2,000 pounds from IQ options. And then obviously that's when it hit me what have I done?
What was that conversation like?
So my mum didn't talk to me for like a day. And then after she was just...
A day?
A day, yeah. But obviously even then, like, you feel so guilty, like...
Of course.
That's technically was my mum's life savings that just blew. But obviously, 4 or 5 years later, you look back at it and it's a lesson. It's like the way people go to uni, for example, pay the price to learn.
Yeah.
That was the price I paid.
What about anyone else in your family? What were they saying to you?
No one knew. It's only my sister and my mum.
They protected you. They protected you.
I think even till this day, I think only recently my brother knows and my other sisters. My dad still doesn't know.
Yeah, he might find out.
Yeah, if you watch this, Dad, then what can I say?
It's too late. It's too late. But I'm guessing if you paid it back, you sorted out. Yeah. What was that feeling like then? Obviously, after going through all the depths of hell, if you will, to now being able to go full circle and return that.
It's crazy because when you look back at it, that was like my darkest moment in my life.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Bearing in mind, I was 18, 19. Losing £20,000 is a lot of money for 18 to 19-year-old back then as well. That's equivalent to if I lost, I don't know, 100 grand today, let's just say.
Yeah, no, 100%. In terms of going full circle, what's that feeling like? Yeah.
I don't know. It's harder to explain. Obviously, where I am right now, I'm grateful and everything, but there's levels to this. I just want to reach the next level. That's why it's I'm quite focused on just trading.
Definitely.
Don't really sell anything.